Okay, this is Ray Quaid, Sergeant's Gunsmithing, July 14th, 2013, Sunday afternoon. He's been working on a Moxley.
Yeah, God will get us for working on Sunday. I didn't mean to work, but everything was going good today. I just fired it. What I'm doing right now, I had to add some little pieces of wood. People don't realize what they have to go through to make one of these work. I won't even tell you what I'm using sometimes. Some of the small gaps are popsicle sticks. They're giving away our secrets here. Some of the places like here and back here, there's a spring. It has to have a gap in it or that spring can't work and it'll break the stock out from the inside. Like I said before, this is a lane lock. It's about, I'm guessing, by my books and stuff, 1830 to 1850's. And it's so marked, I'm upside down right now, in Louisiana. It's decorative, and it's got a little rabbit and a duck or something back here at the back end. It works on the Moxleys fine. Mose Moxley, when he bought his locks, probably from a guy by the name of Parrott, P-A-R-R-O-T, from Bell Fountain. There was two guys that made locks and barrels, and they used Blue Jacket Creek to propel their machinery. And to stand the reason, he worked in Bell Fountain, he'd have bought all these stuff in Bell Fountain. But he also used warranted locks, which is a W-A-R-R-T-E-D, and many other locks. There was a lot of lock makers that just made locks and barrels. This gun's a 36 caliber. When I got it from Mr. Moak, there was no back tang or breech plug. The fish on the side, decorative, was missing. It had no lock, like we're saying here. I had to bend and shape the hammer to make it fit. I did save the original drum, that's where the nipple screws into. The guns have to be double setted before they can be cocked. Most of the guns do not have a half cock, that's so you can cap it. Then you bring it back on fire and it's supposed to fire. I add that in myself for the simple reason that you got to bring it back clear on full cock and put a cap on. If it happens to slip, you might blow somebody's head off in front of you. I've had to replace a whole bunch of little pieces of wood. Here, this whole side's been replaced. I've replaced the toe. I haven't started. This was missing. So I made it out of shells. This is the rear trunnion or the ramrod holder, and I've got to sand it down and get the dirt and stuff out of it yet. And it is pinned through and epoxied in place.
Now, what is that made out of?
That's made out of a 303 British shell here and a 38 caliber shell inside of it, epoxied together, and then epoxied and pinned together. I made all new brass pins. And on the bottom of the barrel where these holes are, these pins go through it. And I don't have the back one in right yet, but I had to re-weld. They were all broke off. There's a brass pin there, and there's another one there. I had to weld half washers on the bottom of the barrel, and then this slips through it, and that's what holds the barrel to the stock. It's called a wedge pin. There's so many different little things you have to do with working on these guns that it's hard to, you know, and this is the first time I've ever had a video. I have got the double set working. It was froze up. Like I said, the locks doesn't matter as long as it's working. I had to cut the brass plate off. The bottom screw was frozen in place to the brass piece and into the wood. And if you don't believe me, there's the screw. I had to very carefully cut it off so I didn't get into the brass. It's hard to believe they get that tight in there. And then I countersunk it and I'll make new screws. I haven't done that yet. Even the top screw will have to be made. You can see the difference in the brass and what will it be when it's shiny when we're done. This is the original nipple, and it's not any good, but we're saving it. It's been in that gun for 100 and some years, so over 150. What we've done here is we've put a replica nipple in, and it's a number 10, and it's not an 11. And it fit the threads on this. Like I said, we saved this tumbler. That's the original. I about dropped it. Excuse my mess in the shop. You can see the dirt and stuff when you're sanding and grinding, and there's been a lot of it on this gun. You make a mess. This slips in here, and I've got a pin right here ready to go through it. I've had it all together. That pin there will go into this and hold that in. The front ones broke off. It's almost impossible to braze them on, so I drill a hole and countersink it. Now that'll have a screw in it, and that'll hold the front, and we'll put a brass screw in it. We got everything working. This is your adjustment screw for the double set trigger. It's on half cock now, and you can set this screw to where it won't even cock at all. But it has to be double cocked or double set before it'll lock in place, both positions, and then fire. Otherwise, it just free floats. Like I say, it has to be set, half cock, full cock, fire. Like I said, it's a 36 caliber. We took a little video of the ramrod. I put some knurls on it. Just makes it look a little pretty after it's finished out. And then I'm using here a 30 caliber shell for a brass piece. And we'll shape this down, and you don't tell anybody, nobody knows it's a shell. What we've done with this gun, everything that was missing and everything that we put into this gun has been handmade. All the parts inside the lock. Inside it's got shotgun parts from scrap shotguns, the barrels and stuff I've got, or the locks. And the mainspring is an 1861 Springfield cut down. The sear spring's also the same thing, and the sear. It all had to be revamped. Now, I started, if you can see real close here, it does have a light bluing. This is what it'll be better than this when we're done, because I wanted to see how I was going to finish it out. We're not going to brown this gun. His guns were blued. And we'll have put on an antique blue, and it's a cold blue that I put on heated. We haven't worked on any metal except for the lock and some of the brass. This all has to be redone yet. I like to put the guns all together, make sure they're firing, the barrel's open and whatever, and of course we did fire. Then I'll take this gun apart, and I'm going to hone the barrel, and it'll be easy because I can remove this tang where most of you can't. If it's an original, it's already been in there. And we did, the gun's coming along fine. Like I say, this is the 9th one that I've done. The fish, I don't know, did you get that?
I'll get a close-up of your fish for you.
Now, it might not be the prettiest thing in the world, but this is handmade. This screw will be shaped. That's just a regular number 10 by 24 screw, but I'll shape the head, make it look antique. It's got the original sights on it. A gun like this right now, when I started working on Moxley's a few years ago, like for Cowan's Auctions, done a one for them. They were had them for sale for $200. We finished the gun and they sold it for $2,400. So refixing the guns won't hurt them. This is an original piece here. That's your toe strap. I didn't even take it off. The screws are in good shape. I cleaned it up. You don't take something off and mess it up unless you have to. This gun, a value on it, a personal opinion, would probably run right around anywhere from $1,200 to $2,500 to $3,000 when we're done. I don't do all the smooth sanding. We leave nicks and pits. It is a maple, and they call it a tiger maple, or it's really a curly maple, but they call it tiger because of the stripes. Some of the wood we match as best possible. We can't always do that, and everybody's going to laugh at me. I do a lot of popsicle sticks to finish in something. They stain real well. And when I'll finish this out, instead of using a maple stain, which is too damn red, I'm going to use walnut. I've done it for years. Walnut will bring this stock right out. But like I said, we're not going to sand it. I'm going to steal all the poop out of it in different grades. Nicks and pits will be left. It's going to be a nice gun. We did epoxy all the broken pieces here back into place. I've got 3 days in this gun already. Sunday I probably shouldn't be working today. I come down just to mess around when I get to work. Getting ready to quit for the day. Like I say, my little shop here, not too much. I got some of my cop pictures when I was a cop, and my girls, I keep the girls up here, and it's about a 40 gun safe. My main shop is over on I've got a 2.5 car garage. I got all my buffers and all the big tools over there. This is the put together shop. If you notice, there's some guns sitting over here. There's 6 there. It's got to be done all antiques. I've got 22 of the safe yet to do, long and handguns. So I'm a little behind, and but otherwise, this is the shop. It ain't much. We built it out of scrap in 1899. But I'm working with Phil Holloway. We brought a bunch of scrap home and put it together, and it does me good. So, any other questions?
No. You want to say bye to all your adoring fans?
Well, we'll say bye. Hi, Tom. I'm going to send you a copy of this, Mr. Moat, too. And so one of these days when you preach my funeral, Tom, you can play this thing and say, hey, the old man didn't do so damn bad in his life. So, okay.